First up, I'm in the northern Brisbane suburb of Grange. This season in Open Homes, we've brought you a variety of different style homes. From Hamptons to industrial, we've seen them all. Well, this next place we're about to see is not only a lesson in sustainable home design, but I promise you, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. I'm meeting with Adrien from Eco Building Services for a tour of this one-of-a-kind home. I mean, I'm getting this Chinese sort of castle feel here. We've got the moat, the drawbridge, this rusty old door.
Yeah, don't forget the gong.
And the gong.
Yeah, bit of an eclectic feel about it, but look, it's what the clients wanted and it really seems to work.
Oh, mate, I'm excited to take a look. Shall we jump in?
Absolutely. After you.
One of my favourite parts about open homes is the variety of homes we get to walk through. But I've got to say, I've never seen a place like this.
Yeah, this is a little bit different. Yeah, we weren't able to use some of the standard building materials, being a sustainable home, so put a little bit of a different feel to the whole home, yeah.
So what sustainable practices have you employed?
Look, it ranges from lower VOC materials, obviously looking at the embodied energy in all the products and materials we use, but it's also a very solar passive home. So the way that Julie designed this home really works not only with the steep block that we've got, but she's really had a look at the elements and the way the sun travels around this home and use that to help us keep this house really warm in winter and really nice and cool in summer.
To do the solar passive design, we looked at sun paths. Wintertime we're wanting to get the sun in, obviously, and summertime we're wanting to create shade. So we looked at a different roof form. We're also looking at collecting maximum water, so we've got the roof pitching all one way so we can get rain harvesting. And we've also deliberately angled it so that we're getting solar panels. Really, you don't need air conditioning if you can design it properly.
You can actually feel walking into the house, that solar passive design coming into effect, because it's quite hot outside, but you walk in and it's quite cool.
Correct, yeah, that thermal mass that's incorporated into this home really draws that cooler temperature out of the ground and really does keep this home quite cool.
So to simplify that for the viewers at home,
sure.
The concrete slab in winter will heat up.
Correct.
And at night we'll release that into the home.
That's right.
And in summer it's cool. And then at night we'll release that coolness into the home.
Correct.
So you don't need air conditioning and that type of thing.
That's right, that's right. So essentially we're using the thermal mass in this home to keep this house comfortable year round.
From the get-go, what was the design brief for this home?
Number one, it had to be intergenerational, right? Meaning that the parents could use certain parts of the home while the kids use other parts. Had to be very sustainable, so very low VOCs. The kids do have allergies here, so we had to be very selective with the materials we used.
And was this a new build?
It was. So we had to delicately remove the original cottage to make way for this beautiful new home.
There were a lot of issues with drainage and retaining walls that were falling apart, walls falling apart, steel corroding. To actually rectify would have cost almost as much as building it new. We wanted to recycle as much as we could, so we recycled timber. We used the decking and solid timber for the stairwell and screening. We also milled a tree that was on site, and so we've used that for the shelving, and we've actually kept the raw edge of the trees so that they have memory of place, which I think is really important.
When people do think of, eco and sustainable homes, they do think, well, that's going to cost me a bit more. But a lot of times it's not that at all. It's just simply design.
Look, it's just rethinking the way that you design the home. Yeah, exactly right. You can start with a solar passive design, and then look, it's not about doing everything eco. It's about doing as much as you can, right? Whatever you can bring sustainability-wise will help.
And how did you go building on this site? Because it's quite steep.
It's very steep, and look, Julie took the house to the extremes, so not only is it steep, but it was a very difficult access site with minimal access, so we actually had to do things back to front, if you will. Starting with installing the pool and then working our way back up the slope from there.
We had a few builders come on site and just shake their head and say, oh, that's way too difficult, we don't even know where to begin. Adrien was fantastic at being able to, progress through the site. The advantage of a sloping site means that you can have 2 ground levels. It also means you get fantastic aspect, so you can walk in from the ground, but then you've got this wow view.
Loving these high ceilings.
Yeah, mate, it's actually a design element and really incorporates part of that solar passive design. The idea being all the hot air does rise to the top, and then we've got the louvers out the back here. You open up those louvers and it helps to express that hot air out of the room.
Right. And what about this little window here?
Yeah, okay, that's something else. So the client is a mad plane buff and wanted to be able to get up in the morning and have a look at those planes taken off from Brisbane Airport, and there it is.
Wow, I bet you've never had that brief before.
Mate, I haven't. It's a first, but hey, it works for him, so yeah.
I guess a great lesson that people can learn from this place is how to use simple materials well.
Yeah, correct. Look, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You've just got to put a little bit more thought into how you come about and how you do the build. For example, the slab we've got above here, we did a suspended slab rather than putting a ceiling on it. We made sure that we were able to hide all the chairs and all the Rio and use the soffit or the exposed soffit as a finished ceiling.
And I noticed there's not a lot of painted surfaces down here.
No, there isn't. Well, that was one of the design briefs. So don't know if you've heard of the 3 R's of sustainability: reduce, reuse, recycle. There's actually 5 R's when we come to construction, and the first one is refuse. So in this particular build, we refuse to have any sort of painted surfaces. Not only is it more sustainable, but it actually takes out one whole trade, thus reducing the cost of the build. And the other R is basically repurposing. So reutilising materials from the old cottage and reusing them into here.
And of course, this place, it's an award winner.
It is, yeah. We were lucky enough to take out the Master Builder Award for custom homes in the $750,000 to $950,000 range, yeah.
Well, mate, congratulations on the award. It's an amazing place.
Thank you very much.
And I look forward to seeing what you're coming up next.
Thanks, Michael. Cheers.
This home is a combination of clever material selection, great design, and the owner's own personal taste. It's easy to see how it took out the gong.